follows one up and it just kind of trickles all the way down and feeds all the plants growing. Some things we have growing up there are Swiss chard, there's radishes, kohlrabi, which looks like a turnip. Doesn't taste like one really. I think there might be,
purple things
I know there's eggplant, there's broccoli growing up there too, and onions somewhere.
So you wait until they got some roots and then you plant them like this?
Yep, they'll start them from seed in our back greenhouse. In about 2 weeks, they'll be about an inch tall and have some roots, and we'll transplant them in here. And the white rocks you see on there is perlite. So that's that perlite I was talking about, where it's basically the size of aquarium gravel. So it doesn't provide anything for the plant other than something to root in and support itself, so it doesn't just fall out.
So the nutrients that you're giving it is what kind of stuff?
Yep, it's just getting all the nutrients and all the water from us. We get to control everything the plant gets to grow. But yeah, if you're interested in the home system, this is what it looks like. There's 2 column pots, and it's a pretty short, or a pretty small compact system, so it's very nice for like apartments, or maybe a sunroom or a kitchen. So we decided to plant a bunch of herbs on there, because that's what most people tend to grow when they buy these systems, and so just kind of grow herbs so they can use fresh basil, or rosemary, or dill, or cilantro, or something like that. You'd have to buy an aquaponics nutrient solution, basically. You can find them online, they're pretty readily available, or if you have maybe a greenhouse near you, you can maybe see if they use that, use one. You can't really use Miracle-Gro. It has too much ammonia in it, and it will start to smell and get really gross really fast. A Miracle's made for soil. You'd have to find something that's made to be in water to use. But a lot of people like those systems, like the idea of hydroponics, and have no idea how to get started. So we created this real simple version of it. We took a tank, filled it with water, and then put some nutrient solution in there. On the top there, we planted our plants in a styrofoam board. Styrofoam's really cheap and it floats, so it works really well for this system. You don't have to use a 10-gallon tank. Anything that holds water would work. We use the tank because it looks pretty cool to see the roots. The problem we have is it grows algae because sun gets in there. So on the top here, again, our plants are all planted in rock pools, so you see little squares. And then these are just herbs. We do have an air stone and an air pump hooked up there to kind of move the water around so it doesn't get stagnant. And this is what rock wool looks like before plants are planted in. So it's basically a large sheet of this cotton-like material, and then we'll put a seed in each one of these little wells and keep it all wet, and our plants will start to grow. And then we can rip off the convenient squares and transplant them wherever we want. But obviously that's a lot of information for someone to remember, so we type it all out for everyone. It's a little easier when you go home. Grab a stack of it. So the front explains what hydroponics is, so you can tell your friends what you're doing. And then on the back, there's step-by-step instructions how to set it up, and then all the supplies needed, and then where to find harder to get stuff. Things like an aquaponics solution. If you have trouble finding one like that, there's a link on there. There's a link for rock wool, because that's not sold at Walmart, Lowe's, or Home Depot. It's pretty cheap online. And then there's some information on hydroponics, how to grow things. If you have trouble with it, there's links for websites online. And this first one here are the Vertigrow systems. So if you like those column pots, we have a link on there for those too. I'll just kind of hand out back to each side.
Solution for all the different plants.
Yep, all the plants get the same water and nutrient solution. Thanks. That is oregano. This is normal oregano. There's a variety called Cuban oregano, which is somewhere on there. It doesn't look like that at all.
Oh, no, I think I saw that.
It smells way stronger. It smells like pizza.
Yeah, it smells like pizza. Oh,
People want to pass that leaf around, and we'll pass this one around over here. See, that's gonna let one of the
It does. That smells good. Here.
oh God.
Yep, you can just put it on the bottom. So there's a common myth that hydroponics makes things taste different. So what we like to do is kind of disband myths here. So we feed people some of those produce we grow. So if you guys like cucumbers, that's what we have for the taste test, I believe. Yes. So the cucumbers we grow in the next greenhouse are the first crop you'll see, and I can kind of show you how we grow them because it is a very unique way. But it's a variety that is seedless. It doesn't have true seeds. It just kind of has the shells of them basically. And then it also has a really small skin on it, so you don't have the nasty taste of the skin. And then they're a burpless variety. So, a lot of times when you eat normal cucumbers, they give you like nasty burps later. Apparently, I don't eat cucumbers enough to really know, but they give you like nasty hiccups later that taste really bad. These aren't supposed to do that.
Like an English variety. English cucumber variety.
I just know it as a burpless seedless variety. I don't know the name or where it came from, but burpless seedless is what we call them. So you can see no real true seeds, they're just kind of pockets. But if you guys want one, you can hold out your hand next to you one. I'm sorry, I don't have ranch or salt or pepper or
You want one,
vinegar.
babe?
What else are they?
I'll eat one.
Wanna try one? Oh, and if you don't like them, one, remember I work with the fish, so I won't be offended. Two, there's a trash can in the corner. Should taste like normal cucumber.
I get another one for him. Or a small one for me, actually. I hate cucumbers. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I'm running out of small ones.
I love cucumbers.
Do you love cucumbers?
Oh yeah.
Give me your flat
Here,
coat.
let me see. Two small ones. You want one?
Thanks, Shug.
So there's a couple left if anyone really wants them. You like them?
You have to keep her away from the tomatoes.
There you go.
She'll go pick them up on anything.
Well, here
Do you want another
she'll
one,
have
Shug?
to jump
No?
really high to get them, and you'll see why. You'll see. She'll climb.
Yeah, they're edible.
None of the green beans made it into the house.
How many green beans from your garden? to the
They
house?
never do.
None of them did.
None of them? That's rare.
She would pick them and eat
I
them.
want to get that oregano just because it's so beautiful. Isn't it?
Oregano plant?
Yeah,
That's
it's
first
got
time
purple
ever.
flowers
We're
on the front
eating
and
everything
down
before
one.
it goes to the-
I thought it was hops.
No, this is actually another
These hops
part of
are
our
like that.
pie. What we do is we just kind of take cheap metal and lay styrofoam on it, and we'll plant our plants on the outside. This is bok choy again. It's the system, or the same plant that's on the top of the aquaponics there. The way this system works is we'll plant our plants on the outside and keep the roots on the inside, and there's a misting system in there. So the misting system just kind of keeps the air really moist and wet, and the roots just grow in there. So we just call this an A-frame system. It's kind of something we created. Now I have to get the roots back in here because I'm not really supposed to take the plant out, but I do every time. But usually when they plant it accordingly, there's a plant here, and as it grows, you can't see any of the styrofoam. Usually this system's going, it's going on, well, it's not going on the other side. This is how we got those Brussels sprouts started. But as we go through, this is what a misting system looks like when it's not running. Just imagine the air being really wet and misting. So we'll just kind of look at it as we go through the next greenhouse. And that's how we started the plants that are on that moving system over there, for the Brussels sprouts with the roots in the air. So like I said, the cucumbers are the first crop we grow in this greenhouse. These kind of are maybe a month old, a couple months old. Well, they were started in June. But these guys, we train to grow up a string. There's nothing really special about them, other than the fact that we tied a string to the bottom where the plant started and a string to the trellis at the top. And we just wrapped the plant around it as it grew. We cut off the lower leaves to make it grow a little faster. As it gets to the top, we kind of leave the leaves on there because then the plant spreads out faster and produces more fruit. The reason we like to grow it up here is because we don't have to break our backs working with the fruit. And also the fruit get air all the way around. So they tend to get a little bit bigger and they don't have that nasty yellow side that you tend to get when it's laying on the ground. But if you do this outside, rabbits can't get to it. So that's also another nice feature. What we like to do is when they're the size of a thumb or a finger is we'll stick them in these nice little molds. So when they grow out of this, basically 3 weeks or so, they'll be full and we'll unscrew them and take them out. And they'll have a familiar shape to them when we slice them up. We tend to send those to the garden grill to get kids excited about salads.